That was awkward.
Yes, it was.
What's good, everybody? This is your boy Jagging Off the Go to Jags YouTube. 904 to Bowl City, Duval. We in the fucking building yet again. Alright, so it's been a little bit since I've talked about the upcoming draft and just the Jaguars in general. So I'm guessing it's time. Now, every indication that I've seen is that the Jaguars are taking a pass rusher. Now, granted, Will Anderson's gonna be gone, and that's somebody who I would say go all in for, but just with how deep this class is, I wouldn't even do that. But really, there's three names I would take over a pass rusher right now. Like, really, I think that is the Jaguars' biggest weakness. I mean, we let Arden Key's bitch ass walk to Trashville, mainly because we need an upgrade at that position. So, however, there are three names that would really be acceptable over taking a pass rusher: Quentin Johnston, Osiris Torrance, and Brian Branch. Those are like the three names I think would be acceptable to hear at 24 over a pass rusher. But I'm going to talk about one specifically, and I think if this dude's there, he needs to be the pick. And I've been high on this guy, like, really ever since I was, thinking before, this was before the Jaguars, got their shit right. And I was thinking we were going to fuck this up and probably have a top 10 pick again. But, back when I was looking, I've always been very high on Quentin Johnston. Just his sheer athleticism, his size. I've always said the guy has everything. If put in the right offense and the right quarterback, this kid's going to be a fucking superstar. Now, I'm guessing he didn't have a very impressive combine or pro day or some other shit, but here's my thing with that, because this is when you start to see guys slide. And different guys come up because of combines and pro days and that shit. Let me explain something to you, okay? Just because you can run a fast ass 40, put up a bunch of reps on the bench, and have a long ass vertical jump or whatever the fuck or whatever else they test for, does not mean you can play football at the NFL level. We have seen this shit time and time again where somebody's stock rises because of an impressive combine and they end up being some shit. For example, everybody remembers Vernon Gholston, how he dominated the combine, was pure ass in the NFL. Chris Johnson's another example. He had he did have one really good season, but he really ended up being a first round pick because he ran a record 40 time, and, other than one monster season, he's been dog shit ever since. Let's see, who's another one? I know there's a few. Oh, God, what the fuck? I know I'm missing one, obvious one. Okay, but you get the point. But also it works in the same retrospect when somebody will have a poor combine or not run a 40 time or whatever that they're not expecting, and they become great players. Terrell Suggs lost draft spots because of his 40. He's arguably going to the Hall of Fame. Ray Lewis, he didn't have good measurables at the combine. Arguably the best middle linebacker of all time. See, who else? Julian Edelman did very poorly at his combine. Went undrafted. Was a good-ass receiver for the Patriots. Same with Wes Welker. Same difference. Cooper Kupp. fucking, he didn't have that good of a showing, and that and coming from a small school hurt him, and he's one of the top receivers in the league. The point being, the main thing you need to look at with these guys is their tape and what they do at the collegiate level to see if this motherfucker can play football or not. That is where Quentin Johnston's tape jumps up. His production and shit he can do on a football field screams star in the league. So him sliding is actually very good for him and the Jaguars. Because look, yeah, I get we need a pass rusher, but there's dudes out there still. Yannick Ngakwe's still out there. Marcus Golden's still out there. If they last up until the draft and Quentin Johnston is there, the Jaguars would be fools not to take him. And I get Osiris Torrance like immediately is going to fill the void at guard because within the next 2 years, assuming they stay healthy, Ben Barch and goddamn Brandon Scherf, they're probably going to be gone within the next 2 years. They might both be gone next year. So having Torrance would help out a lot. Brian Branch, we need a slot corner, and he can play safety. You could line this guy up anywhere, and he's a fucking monster. But really, I don't think we're addressing slot cornerback till like at least the 3rd round because we brought Trey Herndon's sorry ass back. So, but look at the receiver situation and how this works. Obviously, we're going to get production out of Christian Kirk. We're going to get production out of Evan Ingram. Zay Jones had a career year. We don't know what he's going to do this year. Calvin Ridley was great with Atlanta, but he hasn't played football in 2 years. So, us taking Johnston gives a lot of flexibility because he's not costing a shit ton of money, like over $10 million like both of those dudes are. So, if Ridley works out, and, we still have Johnston, that opens up the door to trade Zay Jones and instead of lose him for nothing. Or if Ridley doesn't work and isn't himself, then, Zay Jones is still here, and we took Johnston, so, we're straight at wide receiver. Like, that is the biggest thing that is missing from the Jaguars offense. Maybe another back to spell ETN, but the main thing we are missing is a number 1 wide receiver. If Calvin Ridley's not that guy, we're fucked for another year if Johnston's there and we don't take him. So, I just think, I don't know, dude. I just think everything I've seen out of this kid again, if he goes to the right system and has the right quarterback and coach, he's going to be a fucking superstar. And there aren't too many better options out there than Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. Think about that. And not to mention, look, we could have the shittiest draft imaginable and we'll still win the AFC South. Trashville, there's fucking idiots because they're still trying to compete, keeping Tranny Hill, Baby Huey, and just re-signing Jeffrey Simmons, thinking they're going to fucking have a chance at the AFC South when their all O-line is absolute garbage. When really, they should be trying to tank for Caleb Williams, but having them 3 fuckheads around, that's going to do just enough for them to miss out on it. Which, if they were doing that I would kind of be worried about in a couple years. In the Aspless, they're going to, I just foresee the future of them taking Will Levis, and he's going to be absolute dog shit. The Texans, yeah, they're going to get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, but they're still a year or 2 away from even thinking about being on our level. So that I'm not worried about. What I am worried about is the rest of the AFC. The AFC is pretty fucking stacked, and in the playoffs, you're going to have to go through these teams. I mean, Kansas City has Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen in fucking Buffalo, Burrow in Cincinnati, Kenny Pickett's on the come up in Pittsburgh. Lamar, if he somehow stays with the Ravens, they're going to be contenders. Tua, if he gets back to form with the Dolphins. Aaron Rodgers is coming to Green Bay, or not Green Bay, it's New York. Like, the AFC is going to be stacked. So I'm all in favor of giving Trevor Lawrence a plethora of weapons for him to succeed. So Quentin Johnston actually makes a lot of sense, both financially and, where we're going as a team. I mean, ultimately, I do think that this him sliding shit is going to fizzle out. He's still probably going to be gone before we pick, even though I still say it's worth trading up to get him. And I'm sure the Jaguars are going to end up taking a pass rusher. But just my thoughts, if Quentin Johnston's there, I think personally we're idiots if we don't take him. I really do. But, I don't know, draft's a few nights away. Awkward Silence, of course, will be live for it if you haven't heard. So, be on the lookout for that. Other than that, that's it. That's all, people. It's been your boy Jagging Off. Go Jags. Duval till I die. I'm gone.